Hello to all of those that have come to this specific meeting at this point in time, this day. The transmission that will come through today specifically is from the angelic realm, as you term it, and the individual that speaks as of now is named Galadiel, closely related to the name that you use to describe the elven queen in The Lord of the Rings. We angelic forces are very much in tune with what happens on Earth. In fact, we are always walking amongst you, simply in a frequency that is not visible to most of you. Sometimes certain animals can perceive us. Oftentimes it's small children that can see us. Angelic forces are interdimensional forces. We are simply guardians that come in different energetic vibrations. Depending on the imprint we carry, we can appear as tangible and as real, or we appear as more light impressions, if you will. There's been a lot of misunderstandings around what angelic forces are. Oftentimes we are misunderstood as the passive servants of God in the Western world being the Yahweh, often of the Old Testament. And the reality is, yes, while we have served God, or more accurately, creation, creator energy, our role is all but passive. We are incredibly involved behind the scenes, consistently accompanying humans through their daily lives. Oftentimes, we are not allowed to interfere because we have not received that person's permission to interfere. You see, and this is also explained in the Bible, but also other religious texts, we can only extend our helping hand when we are given the permission from the individual to do so. This is how sacred your free will is. Which is why we strongly encourage individuals who do believe in angelic forces or want to work with angelic forces to, in their daily prayers or thoughts towards creator force, ask for our involvement and our interference with their lives. You can even ask for specific angels to come through, the ones that better resonate with you or you might have heard about. Now, at some point, this individual channel gave a short exploration of what the difference is between extraterrestrial versus angelic beings or spiritual beings. The reality is we are all interdimensional beings. In other words, to some, we angelic forces could appear as extraterrestrials. To others, the extraterrestrials might appear as angelic forces. Depending on how we choose to manifest ourselves to the person, it is perceived differently. Oftentimes we manifest in a way that is most comfortable to the person to perceive. If a person came from a religious background, for example, it might be of greater help to see us as angels. If a person did not grow up in religion and they are very much interested in the esoteric, we might come through as an archetypal type, manifest ourselves in dreams, for instance, as a specific god or mythological creature. On the other hand, if we see that an individual is very open to the idea of not being the only species in this universe, we are also happily manifesting ourselves as what could be perceived as extraterrestrial forces. Generally speaking, however, the angelic forces are made out of light and very transparent also. We like to be engaged as guardians. We are what you might term the bodyguards of humanity. Oftentimes, we carry certain geographic locations, or we hold swords and shields before helpless individuals in the face of humanity's storms and abuses. You might ask yourself, well, if that is the case, why have you not served and helped so many more that have suffered? Maybe some of you ask, why did you not help me when I suffered? Once again, I reiterate that we have very little capacity to help if there has not been a permission granted for us to help. This is once again how sacred free will in humanity is. Now, we do not blame anyone who did not know this piece of truth beforehand. In fact, it is all a learning process, and all these lessons that you walk through have been signed up before you incarnated in this lifetime. This can be very hard to digest and often very painful to face, which is why if it does not resonate with you, we do not force it upon you. In fact, we encourage you to discard this piece of information. Everyone has their journey to walk. Everyone has their revelations to come upon. Everyone has a very sacred maturation process that we angels like to guard, that we angels like to look over and process with the individual. Now, why is it, some of you might ask, that the angelic forces are often described as very scary looking beings, especially in the Apocalypse book of the Bible? How come we are portrayed as many-fold, as many-headed and many-eyed, many-limbed even? The reality is, it is very difficult for the human mind to comprehend the amount of influence, activity, and action we can take. We can see in many places at the same time. We can be in many places at the same time. We can help many people at the same time. The human mind interprets that as many-eyed or many-handed, even many-footed. The reality is, we like to humanize our appearance when we do come across humans in tangible form. And in some ways, that humanization can be seen as you in the human world call it, uncanny valley. Something's not right, something's a little off in the visuals, because once again, we are not human per se. We are interdimensional, and as we translate our essence into the human field of vision and perception, we can come across as very odd looking. Oftentimes we default to just appearing as a shining bright light, humanoid form, because if you were to look beyond the light into a potential form or formation of our physical manifestation, it could be perceived as something scary, something monstrous even. But again, it is all with good intention. And so when we do come across humans who see us and who fear us, we often try, in the best case scenario, to speak and communicate, but we are also very happy to simply disappear out of field of sight so that the individual can regain their composure and regain their inner peace. There's nothing that is here to force you to accept interdimensional beings. Nothing here that is forcing you to see angels or try to perceive them in different forms. In fact, we would never violate the individual's personal journey style when it comes to start to perceive and see interdimensional beings. Another thing we would like to mention about the angelic realm is that as we walk parallel lives with you, sitting right next to you, standing right next to you, unperceived by your eye or senses, we hold no judgment for you. Sometimes humanity holds this fear that if angels or guardian angels are truly amongst us, then should we not be on our very best behavior at all times? Because they could see what we do in the private places, in the secret places of our own quote-unquote dirty desires. We would like to infuse that belief with peace and let you know that there's nothing in us that judges what you do. No, not even the most evil acts we judge. However, please understand this. The moment you decide to let us interfere, the moment you decide that you want to grow and become spiritually mature, is the moment we come through with full force, gladly and joyfully helping you along your path and your way. Every single person holds this power and this ability. Every single person has a large team of angelic forces accompanying them throughout the day. And those who are hungry for peace and love are the ones that can get most access to our help and our assistance in whatever they do. Now, many angelic forces have manifested themselves to humanity with names that could be seen as more modern, Western, or even sometimes Greek specifically, considering that a lot of the biblical names are more Greek founded or Greek interpreted. Sometimes people believe that the only true angels are the ones that were mentioned by name in the Bible, when in fact there are millions of them with millions of different titles, names, and backgrounds. In fact, many of you who have evolved beyond the human enclosure have decided to become part of the angelic forces, and we thank you for your service. There is no reason that you cannot interact with us, speak with us, or ask us to be part of your day to day. We would be happy and very honored to do so. We also thank you for following your intuition and self guidance. So, if anything in this message does not resonate with you, once again, feel free to discard it, to ignore it. It may come up in the future, it may not. Either way, you would be honoring your own compass and your inner guidance system. And therefore, we appreciate those who invite us in as much as those who do not invite us in. It has been an honor to witness you, and we look forward to the further evolution of the human race. Thank you and goodbye.